Hello, and welcome back to rLounge. Sometimes blood isn't thicker than water, and family will cross you quicker than strangers. Today we see the amazing lengths that certain people will go to get their hands on money. Are you kidding me? I don't believe it. This is a joke. It has to be a joke. L equals lawyer friend. First joke. I think someone has found out where we live. We woke up last Sunday to find the tires of the cars slashed. All of them. Not only that, it has some wonderful artwork on both sides of the car, aka it was scratched. So what did little old me and hubby do? If you guessed, check the security footage, pat yourself on the back. You got it right. Our cars have dash cams that record 24/7 and are parked several streets over. Security measures number, I lost track of them all. We take them out, place another set, and look at the footage while saving recordings. You can guess again who you think it was. Did you guess Blabbermouth? Then, I'm sorry to disappoint you. It was one of hubby's cousins, the one who thought that I should just hand over the money, bow down to the will of the family, and that hubby should get his woman in line. Remember him? I certainly do. Police were called, and we handed over security footage alongside pictures of said cousin's social media, address, phone number, and email. Better be thorough, right? Afterwards, hubby called his mother to see if she, either by accident or not, spilled the beans. For now, she didn't. She and father-in-law are thinking hard if they might have missed something. I called my family, and they are also thinking hard if they said something to someone. And the second joke. Blabbermouth and brother-in-law have filed a lawsuit against me and to an extent hubby. Guess for what? If you guessed defamation, then dance your own wonderful dance. Since Blabbermouth is a social pariah in the family and in hometown, she blames me for all her woes in this. People in hometown talked, and a lot of people look at her with an upturned nose. They don't like that at all. Life has become somewhat uneasy for them. I wonder why. She's claiming that I'm the one who apparently blabbed outrageous lies to people in the town gossip's machine and caused her drama. Fun part is, it was her own mother. Because she was so upset with what was happening, she talked and told a lot to a lot of people. Lawyer friend is still rolling over the ground laughing. They demand compensation for their ruined reputation. They are willing to settle to keep it out of court. He has already started on the answer. When I saw the letter, I was angry and humored at the same time. Really, Blabbermouth? That's your game plan now? Very well, game's on. So who else's jaw has dropped to the depths of the sea? We have a reaction from I'm just lurking here 244. They will never win a defamation case. It is extremely difficult. Let them pay the lawyer hourly and go broke. Ha! Drac in 1870 chimes in. So when you win the case, if it comes down to it, with dumbass who slashed your tires, please tell him to bow down to your will and stay in his lane, just to make any gut punch sweeter. For Blabbermouth, give her a penny and say it's the last thing you'll ever give her, and it's far too generous. She has now received an adequate sum for her nonsense. Wow, the lengths that people will go. How horrendous. I never understood some people's behaviors and why they choose to act in such violent ways as if consequences don't exist. And honestly, at this point, I wouldn't put a defamation lawsuit past them. They seem relentless and desperate. Let's continue. Update on cousin and lawsuit. I have a small update on the cousin who decided to use our car to vent his frustrations, as well as on the lawsuit Blabbermouth hit us with. Cousin has probably lost his job or has a lot of trouble there. Apparently, his boss got wind of the fact that he vandalized our cars and was caught on camera. Don't know how he found out, and frankly, don't care. Boss is not happy at all. From the family members that don't have a no contact order against us, we hear the two different tales. What I know for certain is that at cousin's job, the stunt he pulled got him into serious trouble. We also have a temporary no contact order against him. Damages are set to be fixed in 2 weeks' time. Cousin has been told the amount of damages he has caused. He can pay for it out of his own pocket, as of course, insurance companies don't pay for idiots destroying other people's cars. He will also see the inside of a courtroom in either August or September. We also found out how he found our cars. His friend lives in the same neighborhood as we. We didn't know this. Cousin seemed to have told his friend his version of events, and his buddy told us he saw us in the neighborhood. Wonder what friend thinks now, after what cousin did. As for the lawsuit, let's get the people clear. L equals lawyer friend, BL equals Blabbermouth's lawyer. My dear lawyer friend has had his batch of cookies, and he loved them. He also replied to Blabbermouth's lawyer, sending some of what he had on texts, voicemails, and emails with the note that if Blabbermouth didn't drop the lawsuit, we would counterfile and demand compensation of whatever kind. There are people who thought that Blabbermouth lied to her lawyer. She, of course, did. She told a bunch of lies and decided to fabricate evidence to prove it. Lawyer saw it. Blabbermouth's lawyer didn't like it and dropped them as clients. I can't help but wanting to be a fly on the wall when Blabbermouth's lawyer told Blabbermouth that. Let's see what she'll do next. I'm halfway wondering if I should get a popcorn and a soda for this. Hey, I'm ready with my popcorn. I want to see just how deep Blabbermouth is willing to dig herself. Let's check out the update. How Entitled Cousin Met Frou Frou. Hey people, I have another update on Entitled Cousin, or EC for short. He's the douche canoe that said I should bend to the will of the family. I'm out of ideas for a nickname. L, our lawyer friend, is also mentioned. We're still waiting for the court meeting, but some charges are being added next to vandalism and destruction of personal property. No, he didn't scratch our cars or slash our tires this time. Smart man. Instead, he got to meet Frou Frou, our neighbor's dog, and our neighbor, N. As it is summer, hubby and I decided to go on a holiday in our own country again. Due to COVID, we didn't feel going abroad to our holiday home. We are vaccinated, although our children are not. We had a blast. Kids could go to the pool a couple of times, had to make reservations, and made friends with the other kids. Halfway through our holiday, we got a call. Little big brother, younger but taller than me, of mine, called to tell me that Entitled Cousin had been arrested. Again. This time the douche canoe actually found our home. And you lovely people can try and guess what he did. Did he throw rocks through the windows? Nope. Did he spray graffiti on the house? Again, nope. No, Mr. Smartypants tried breaking in. Our home has a big wooden fence around our backyard, but the position of the wooden planks makes it impossible or at least very difficult to climb them. Entitled Cousin had come in the dead of night, early morning hours, and used a ladder to climb the fence. So he's in our backyard now, tools in hand. He starts getting busy trying to open our back door. Good luck with that. Our neighbor walks Frou Frou quite early in the morning. So neighbor takes Frou Frou out for his first walk for the day quite early. Our neighborhood loves the guy and his loyal friend. More than once has he found people at homes who should not be there. Neighbor and Frou Frou walk and find themselves looking at a ladder standing against the fence of my house. Neighbor knows the situation and that we are not home. Neighbor hears some noise at her back door and realizes what is happening. So what does he do? He lets Frou Frou climb the ladder and jump into our yard. Frou Frou sees Entitled Cousin and starts growling. Who is Frou Frou? Frou Frou is the sweet, caring, funny, big and protective as heck cane corso of Neighbor. How did he get the name Frou Frou? Well, Neighbor's wife loves Beauty and the Beast, and the little dog turned seat has the name Frou Frou. So Entitled Cousin sees Frou Frou, who is not amused at seeing a stranger in his yard. Entitled Cousin is apparently not so smart and throws a couple of tools at Frou Frou's direction. Frou Frou is having none of it, barks and charges. Entitled Cousin barely manages to climb on a table before Frou Frou gets to him. Frou Frou is a trained dog, so he doesn't bite until ordered to. Meanwhile, Neighbor is standing on the ladder pissing his pants at the girly screams of Entitled Cousin while calling the guys and gals in blue. Entitled Cousin is taken away in the back of a police car and has to stay in jail until his hearing. Lawyer demanded that he not be released until his hearing. The no contact order is apparently not sufficient to keep him away. We managed to send the security footage to the legal people involved. Frou Frou got some nice doggy snacks and Neighbor and his wife were also thanked. I have to admit one thing though. When we got back, the kids went to spend the night at their friends for some slumber party time. Hubby and I went to watch the footage. It was gold. And yes, we grabbed ourselves some drinks and a popcorn to watch it. Again and again. Wow, this guy is either relentless or dumb as a stick. He knows you have measures in place due to getting caught in the first place. I'm shocked that he would try again. What happens next? Update. And now my own extended family knows as well. My own extended family found out that I have money as well. I don't have a lot of aunts and uncles left. Plenty of cousins though, as Dad has 6 sisters who all had children. Only 4 cousins are younger than I am. I haven't spoken to them in like 20 years, and the only times I have spoken with them was at a funeral of one of the aunts and uncles. I have no relationship with them. I received several messages of cousins who heard through a lot of people that I had money. When I read this, I was mentally preparing for yet another crap storm. Yep, they was pissed. They wanted to know why I didn't tell anyone. One of them ranted and raved about how unfair everything was and I could have let them know and yada yada yada. When she finally was done, I asked, perhaps rather rudely, if she was done and if I could explain. I made one group and I wrote the whole story of what was happening in that group. I ended with the words in bold, underlined in huge letters, "This is why I never told you." Several were shocked that what happened did happen. I asked them why they were upset I didn't tell them. No one really answered that until I said that maybe because they wanted to benefit from it. Some, "No way, and how can you think that of us?" I answered that the reason I think is because of all the crap that has hit my fan. I have lost a lot of trust in people in general because of this. To make a long story short, a couple of them asked if they could get, not borrow, some money. Others said they would like to borrow some if possible. I uploaded a document that certified loan cousin and I had signed. I told them that what was stated in the document were the rules. They could read it or not. One cousin asked if I could give him a call. I did. Turns out his daughter has a severe illness. Without treatment, she'll likely die. I won't name it for anonymity's sake. There is a treatment in the US that could help her. Chances remain slim, but if it is a success, his daughter might live and live a somewhat good quality of life. Unfortunately, that treatment is not paid for by the insurance company. I didn't trust it after so many stories and asked for details. He asked if I could come and visit. His daughter was in the hospital. He didn't lie one bit. God, that girl. She's in her early 20s, but still. Tubes and monitors everywhere. Books on bed as she tried to do some homework. I could almost see death standing at her shoulder, waiting. She was so... We had to talk, and eventually her attending doctor came in and explained a bit. Later I went with the doctor to his office and he explained the rest. I went home afterwards. We verified the doctor's name, field, etc. Cousin and I talked again on the phone. I told him I hadn't made a decision yet and wanted to know if they wanted the money for medical costs only. He confirmed that. His wife, mother of said daughter, would go to the US and they had money to cover her expenses. It would be tight, but they wanted only the money for the medical costs. Hubby and I talked and we agreed. We agreed to help, but again with strict rules. We would only pay the amount that we were given. The US hospital gave them a number. We would pay the hospital directly and other important details. Only thing we asked in return is that in the event of success and failure, they would put a certain amount of money towards research, in installments if necessary. Lawyer friend drew up a contract and asked another lawyer to review it. This lawyer is specialized in the medical field. I called cousin again. I told him that I had thoroughly examined the entire situation. I had been played and lied to. I was attacked in many ways, and I had lost my trust in people. I thanked him for his honesty in the situation and commented how hard it must be. I then asked him if his wife was listening. She wasn't, but he put her on speakerphone. I then told them the news. The only thing I heard were tears, cries, and thank yous. I told them that I had strict rules and sent them the draft of the document. I asked them to ask a lawyer or maybe the hospital lawyer to review it. If they agreed, we could sign the document. Later, their daughter called me. Same story as her parents. I just hope that this time around, the money will do good. Her doctor contacted me and we are going to arrange the financial details once the contract has been signed between my cousin and I. Other family members of mine have done the greedy grab hands. No was the simple answer, alongside the number of the investment advisor. Told them good luck and blocked the beggars. I don't worry as much as them finding out where I live. My parents, brother and his wife, my sister-in-law, can win a tight-lipped contest with an oyster. Your financial situation isn't anyone's business. That should remain a private matter unless you decide to disclose that. The only reason they wanted to know was, and you're absolutely right, to benefit from your good fortune. They feel entitled to it for whatever reason. However, in the case of your cousin and his daughter, it's an absolute blessing and can totally change the trajectory of their lives for the better because there's a life at stake. Thank you so much for your selflessness, kindness, and compassion. You are honestly such a good person, and I'm so sorry that people are taking advantage of that fact. You are changing the world through your acts of kindness and sharing all that you've worked so hard for. However, that role brings great responsibility and great opposition. What do you make of this? Do you have similar stories? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And thank you for joining us today on rLounge. Before you go, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you have something you want to say regarding today's content, share that with us in the comments below. See you next time.